The Victory Day annual commemoration, of course, is the holiest of holies for the Soviet Union and now, of course, Russia. It's got added significance now as Russia finds itself embroiled 3 years into Putin's brutal war of choice against Ukraine. And I think the importance of Putin being able to rally a group of global leaders and probably one of the most significant leaders in President Xi Jinping to stand beside him on the tribune on Red Square sends in his mind a powerful signal. Russia is not isolated. The Russia-China partnership is strong. Their resolve to stick together is unbroken, and there is no prospect of a reverse Nixon or a reverse Kissinger. So it is very big on symbolism. Whether the agreements will actually add much substance remains to be seen, though.
So what agreements are both leaders expected to sign?
Well, there's an array of topics that seem to recur on the bilateral agenda about energy collaboration, about energy transit. There will probably be further illustrations of both countries' resolve to work jointly to support what they call the Global South. And there'll be a series of activities and agreements, I'm confident, that will underscore the deepening material, particularly in the military-industrial arena, but more broadly the manufacturing collaboration between the two. Russia, of course, is the unequal partner in this relationship, a fact never lost on Moscow, but this will be played up as a very powerful symbol of two countries that are presenting what they would regard as the new face of the new world order.
And how much is China throwing Russia a lifeline, Peter, to help it navigate Western sanctions imposed over its war in Ukraine? How much does Russia need China's support?
Russia is very dependent on China's support in this area, although China is not alone in conniving to help Russia avoid sanctions. But it is very clear that China, while it is talking a particular talk, is walking a very different line. It is enabling the flow of sensitive technologies and other material that is necessary not just for Russia's war efforts in Ukraine, but to help reinforce and shore up the domestic economy. It's interesting that the theory of import substitution, which was going to help bolster the Russian economy in the face of Western sanctions, seems to have led to a preponderance of Chinese-made vehicles across the streets of Russian cities. So there is no doubt Russia remains a big supporter, a big dependent of Chinese support, and that is unlikely to change in the foreseeable future. Both leaders, however, need to be careful not to take actions that are seen to be goading President Trump into some kind of inimical response.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump has been trying to reset US-Russia ties. If Vladimir Putin wants to present a united front with China towards Washington, how will Donald Trump react to that?
It was interesting after the Trump-Zelensky meeting in the Vatican. That was the first sign we've seen, I think, of President Trump acknowledging that maybe President Putin is acting in less than good faith in relation to the US attempts to broker a ceasefire and peace in Ukraine. I think both Putin and Xi will want not to send too provocative signals to Washington, but it is really a signal that is directed, I think, into the broader world, into the region. Both countries, of course, have made recent inroads into the Southeast Asian region. China, of course, recently visiting several countries in Southeast Asia. Russia's recent dalliance with Indonesia in the matter of naval exercises and potential air basing in Papua. These are signals that are tangentially directed at Washington, but are as much directed at other countries to say, we are part of the new future. You won't go wrong by siding with us.
So what does the reinforced ties between China and Russia mean for Australia, Peter, and our relationship with China?
Our relationship with China, of course, is going to come under pressure from a number of fronts, and I think there is very little new for Australia in the reinforcing of China-Russia relations. Obviously, Russia has seen us de facto at war for many years now, even though that has not been a formally declared position. They regard us as an unfriendly country and as an adversarial member of an adversarial camp. Far more important, I think, is what happens on the Beijing-Washington front. And it is really important that we continue to make clear to the United States that while we share convergent strategic interests in global order. We nonetheless have to navigate our own pathway vis-à-vis China. That's something I think the government has been doing for the last few years. It is going to continue to tax our diplomacy on a number of fronts, but I think we are equal to that task.
Peter Tesch, good to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
You're welcome.